It's your boy, the courtesy of hip hop. And on behalf of the director, Daniel Toro, and the team behind the scenes, we would just like to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in since day one. We created this space so we can catch up with artists to find out what they're all about, plus to get some good music. We are available on Facebook and on YouTube. And if there's any artists that you would like to see right here on DTTV, drop their name on the comments section below. See you on the next live stream of DTTV. This thing fell and
See, I grew up at a time when art was discouraged but not prohibited. Support and resources were very limited. But I am different. I cannot base what I'm going to be on what everybody isn't. I am a descendant of the clan of the snake eagle. Soaring is my ability. I have a voice. I have a responsibility. The microphone is my weapon. Like a samurai with swords, I open my mouth to speak and touch the world with my vocal cords. You see, fish swim and birds fly to fulfill their purpose. You too must discover what comes naturally to you if you are to elevate to the sky from the surface. All light ever wants to do is beam, so go ahead, dare to dream. Place yourself on a pedestal so high that you overestimate yourself, overrate yourself, challenge yourself so much that you are eventually great yourself. Run the full length, apply your talent, and turn it into your pull strength.
hello Eswatini, hello world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where in the world you are streaming from. Thank you very much for choosing to spend your Friday afternoon with us right here on First Friday. Every first Friday of the month, we come together and we make knowledge cool again in the form of spoken word poetry. My name is Tamsanga Sibanze, aka the courtesy of hip hop, aka the Black Superman, aka Malcolm X boyfriend, aka the facilitator. And I'm out here holding it down for you for the next hour as we bring you poetry and the story behind the poetry. And of course, as usual, I have a guest with me right here, and it's none other than the beautiful, the lovely Miss Senetisiwe Kininza. Hello.
Hi, KrTC.
How you doing, girl?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. So now, obviously, we are aware that we are in this situation that has been presented by COVID-19. Between Senetisiwe and I, there's a glass barrier to make sure that whatever's on the other side stays on the other side, whatever's this side is this side. And we are just making sure that we adhere to the precautions that have been brought forward by the World Health Organization. Now, the First Friday Poetry and Soul Sessions has been made possible by the U.S. Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and they came together with Ndibanweni, and we just decided that, we need a space where poets can come together and just express themselves and just flex and bring you some of that beautiful poetry knowledge. And of course, in collaboration with myself, and behind the scenes, we've got the main man, Daniel Toro, making sure that we are streaming live and direct to wherever you are right now. Shout out to my man, Vagele, as well, who's holding it down in the sound and tech department. So, this here was made necessary because, like I said, we just needed a place for poetry to come out of Eswatini to the world. It started out with just a couple of us in this room, maybe about 50 or 60 individuals gathering every month, but what COVID-19 has done is given us the opportunity to take this to the world. Seneti.
Yes.
How's it going?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to be in a space where I can share poetry.
Yeah.
And when I have conversations about them, it kind of brings a lot of the work to life.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for tonight, and that we could still share on these platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about this is that, so besides just actually performing the poetry, you get to tell us the story behind the inspiration, the motivation, and, in terms of just like the space that you were in when you actually got into that, poetry piece. But just like at a personal level, how are you coping with the COVID-19 situation?
I will admit it was a hard hit
Sure.
for me as an artist, not being able to still do what I love and earn a living from it like I was. It was a readjustment, definitely a huge one, but I've learned to embrace it and see some opportunities that could still work in my favor, even while at home. So I've actually been getting a lot of the opportunities to just still perform live and, you know, maybe have conversations. And that, I think, has been rewarding in almost the same way as it would be on a stage out with everyone, you know. So it's not the same entirely, but I'm still happy to be doing what I love, and there's more opportunities in a digital you know, space. So I'm excited. It's very new, but I'm embracing it. I love that it still allows us to be ourselves.
So, Seneti, let's just talk about the fact that you were one of the first sort of like poets in the Kingdom of Eswatini to aggressively attack the social media or the digital space in terms of your poetry. I remember you did that, your first show, I think you were at home.
Oh yes, the virtual tour.
Yeah, exactly. You did that, and then you just haven't stopped ever since. So what sort of like just gave you that push or that energy to want to just say, you know what, I cannot stand in front of my people physically, but there definitely is a way, and I'm going to do it virtually. What inspired that move?
To be honest, poetry is all I have at this moment in time. Like, and I don't mean now. COVID-19 hit us quite a while back, but even the year before, I was just putting all my energy and time and either create. I was healing, so I was home a lot, but I used that time. Poetry and creating was a big part of my healing. So. When I was in a space where I'm performing now and then that was taken away from me, I knew I had to still show my work and
find
be out, because it's all I have. So I will be seen wherever we can be seen, still doing poetry.
No,
so
beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love that attitude to just say, you know what, I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Like Bruce Lee says, be like water, my friend. You know, you take the shape of whatever container you've been put in. We've been put in a situation, and the ones that are staying above, you know, with their heads above water, the other people or the artists that have allowed themselves to be flexible and adaptable to the current situation.
That is very important.
Just a quick plug. We are in June, and June, of course, is Pride Month. This is when the world's LGBT communities come together and celebrate the freedom to be themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we want to do. That's all we want to be. We just want to be who we want to be, without any judgment, without any persecutions. Pride gatherings are rooted in the history of minority groups who have struggled for decades to overcome prejudice and be accepted for who they are. The original organizers chose the month to pay homage to the Stonewall Uprising in June 1969 in New York City, which helped spark the modern gay rights movement. Most Pride events take place in each year in June, although some cities hold their celebrations at other times of the year. Without maybe putting you on the spotlight, what are your sentiments about the practice or the habit of just letting people to be who they are?
I think it's important that we realize that we are responsible for ourselves. So when you now infringe someone else from being able to be themselves, then it becomes a problem, not only generally in society, but also towards the person you're you know, confining. And also that shows a reflection of something maybe wrong with you, because you have taken it out of, well, within yourself to now impose it on someone else. So I feel like we should be able to express ourselves and be ourselves fully, whether it's sexuality or, you know, just embracing the color of our skin, or, you know, I really feel like we have the rights to that freedom. So that's
absolutely. You have to take into consideration that when you look at our context, which is Ubuntu, I am because you are. And for me to be fully me, I have to allow you to be fully you. Whatever you is, or whatever you are, or whatever it is that you decide to be.
Yes.
So yeah, we're out here at Ndibanweni, the home of the spoken word poetry in the cap city, which is Mbabane, and we're chilling with Senetisiwe, who, by the way, comes from all the way Zandondo.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your hometown and how it has, how the role that it has played in making the woman that you are right now.
Okay, so Zandondo is where I live, which is past Louve, Mliba, near Jogolago, the hospital. You just take a gravel road on the left.
Right.
Wait, I'm about to give people my location. Excuse me, don't come
somebody's
for me.
out there.
Gravel
hospital,
road,
okay,
which tree?
Yeah.
So it's, since I was young, I grew up in Mklume, and I went to school there. Most of my life I was at Lubombo, but every single weekend and holiday, my parents would make sure that we go back home, Zandondo, which is where they started building a home. We started living there when it wasn't even complete. And I never understood that growing up, and I used to avoid it a lot sometimes because, you know, there's no TV at home. You know, there's... You know, but when I was younger, I loved it. You know, we played games with the kids. We went to the river. We just loved the earthy life of just being connected to each other and earth, and love it and take care of it. But then growing up, you know, feeling like, oh no, now I'm in a, you know, I'm growing up in a suburb. Now I'm seeing better, you know, I'm seeing different things in a different light. It does kind of give you a culture shock because you're in, you know, different worlds, but it built me because I realized in both worlds, in one world, you're taught not to have a voice. And in the other world, you're given a voice and given many ways to express that voice. And that was so intriguing to me because I learned those skills going to schools, you know, good schools. And then I came back to home, Zandondo, and did poetry, and I was more expressive, and I was very free with where I am, who I'm with, what I say, and that's new to them. So I think they did see me as their voice for a long time, but it was more intriguing for me to just, I love to express myself because that's something I didn't even do at home. It was just an outlet for me actually. So it built me because I learned skills in both worlds, and I was able to be the voice of both worlds as well.
I love that. I love that. Being built by both worlds, because most of the time what we tend to do is we shy away from that part of who we are. You know what I mean? Once you get caught up in the city life, and, you know, in the city lights, and, you know, being sort of like in the heartbeat of the fun and entertainment and the groove and the move, and then we just forget to go back and get in touch with you know, with nature, and to get in touch with our roots. You know
I feel like we're actively taught to forget, and we enable each other towards being ashamed of our roots, you know. A lot of the times I'd be asked, wait, uhlala kuphi? As I don't know. They start laughing, people start bickering. And like, that's where I live, you know. They shouldn't, everyone has a home to go back to. So everyone can say, you know, but it taught me growing up that no, these are things I should, even my name, that's something I'm so proud of. And so much meaning, so much depth. And those are things I started seeing when I was much older, and starting to unlearn the things that I, you know, picked up when I was younger, and just to embrace my roots, embrace who I am, and start, you know, discovering the new meanings that I overlooked when I was younger.
Great stuff. DT, are we ready to roll with the first piece? So tell us a little bit about, you said what? Home?
Home is your platform.
Home is your platform, yes. Home is your platform, which was also sort of your performance at the MTN Bushfire 2020, your debut appearance. You handled it very well, graciously. Well done. Tell us a little bit about the poem before we get to it.
So Home is your platform is a poem about creating from home. It encourages artists to, you know, while in quarantine, still get creative and be sparked by everything around them to, you know, boost and stir their creativity, which is a collaboration I actually did with a South African illustrator. His name is Slaying Goliath, but his real name is David Chabalala. So he was working with Bombay Sapphire on just encouraging his audience to stir creativity by tagging him in like different things that they want him to inspire him to create. And so when I became a part of that, when he featured this poem, Home is Your Platform, it was just about that, creating from home and collaborating more. But yeah, that's...
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this next piece by Senetisiwe. It's called Home is Your Platform. And once again, remember, home is wherever your heart is. And we're talking about how being brought up in two different worlds, the urban and, the countryside. But ultimately, home is wherever the heart is. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters from all across the world, everybody stream! Yeah. And welcome Senetisiwe as she performs Home is Your Platform.
Okay. It's about creating from home because it is our platform. And it is entitled Home is Your Platform. 2020 had us gearing up for exciting ventures, resolutions fueled by a new drive. We were building momentum. But an accident that ignited an accelerating pandemic pulled the brakes and it turned tragic. 2020 of distance, cancellation of events, termination of contracts, no contact. Though some of our lives have always been a quarantine, COVID-19 had our creative energies on a lockdown. But I am your wordsmith, unlocking your third eye. See me in your mind's eye. Feel me so vividly, my absence you deny. Listen to me carefully. This is your window of opportunity. Distance from the blinds, for they cloud you. Gaze within the walls that built you, and let my voice transcend you deeper into the roots of your artistry, the fruits of poetry. Nobody leaves malnourished. It is essential to devour art. I am the waters of the Red Sea, healing you from the ebbs that cripple you. Part with idleness, flow with me. I call this wave the collaboration movement, like Lakers, the shooters of every point. Load your slings and leave no stone unturned. It is your turn to quell the giant and put your name on it. Like Senetisiwe, quenching consumers with content, leaving them content. Connect. Watch colonized corporate minds appreciate the art. Create. This is how we get lit. Let your surroundings spark ideas, then command your position in this place. Unapologetically take up space. I promise the vision is still on board. Reform ideas infected and deformed. You are the antidote. I am your tool. Don't be a fool. You have a bill. Netflix and chill all day won't pay. Log in to the present. Unwrap the future. You too are an important, potent creative. Stay active. Your home is your platform. There are infinite digital spaces open. Tune in. This life is a live stream. Anyone could be watching. Don't just pin your interests. Begin in an instant. It's never too late. When the sun rises and the birds tweet, do not retreat. Preheat every gram of lost hope. Bake. Awaken your creativity. I am your catalyst, the yeast of productivity. Every dream is still within your reach. Just rise and deliver. Shoot your shot at every point. Unleash the David in you. Slay every Goliath against you. Beloved, maybe you are right. Many do not like peas, but if it's your pod, cast it. Creating keeps us sane, so sanitize the somber world. You are the antidote. I am the pen for the prescription.
Note, it is not written in any book, but I am the face of it. You just haven't read it yet. At the tick of every talk to your clock, you will be alarmed to realize I am your antivirus. Here to remind us, let us create, transform and hone our skills from home. It is our platform, and from the stage we perform. So, break a leg.
Oh man, what can we say? What can we say? Like Ninza, you're just out here. No, Lombofu, like this is absolutely beautiful. And I'm like watching the comments right here. Shout out to the homie Mlungisi Milchi Dwandwe, who has been tagged as like a top fan because he's always tuning in all the way from the United States of America when we're out here. And is it Celine Zile?
Yes, yeah, thank
Celine
you.
Zile, who is joining us from Taiwan. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking this time out to be with us. Shout out to Nosh. I see you, girl. Thank you very much for tuning in. And Nati Gule, thank you very much for taking this time out to be with us. And as well as Ayanda Zwane. They're just loving the poetry. They're loving what you got, what you're talking about. There's so much that went on in there. So many quotables, so many bars. But the one that just like stuck with me was on some we don't like peas.
Oh, if maybe you're right. If it's
yeah, something about peas.
Peas.
If you're in the podcast, I was like, okay.
I don't know my own lines.
I know it's okay, girl. I got you. But that was beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Very well handled. So talk to us a little bit more about the fact that you like to put your words in motion. You know, most poets will just get behind the mic and just give us the verbal part of it.
Yes.
But you also bring your body into the performance of the poem.
Yes. I define myself as a personified poem because I not only talk about matters that, you know, affect me as a whole,
Sure.
you know, body, mind, spirit. I also, I don't know, I think I move very poetically.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what we just saw right now. So the audience will agree, yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoy it. Also, my first love was drama. Before poetry, there was drama.
Okay,
so
okay.
I love the art of performance as a whole.
All right. So we're getting some comments right here, and Nati Kula says, "Quench us, Sisi."
I'm a sip to that.
Jane Boyd, who also is, by the way, is in the United Kingdom. Jane, thank you so much. Sending love and lights in your direction. She says, "Loved that." Thank you. Psycholution is watching as well. Welcome, brother. Thank you very much for taking the time out. Bafana Mjali, this is like my big brother, my mentor. He's part of my inner circle. You know what I mean? Thank you very much for tuning in, bro. I appreciate that very much. Mill is asking, he was about to ask, who do I need to bribe to get a Top Fan cup? You already got it, bro. This is all you. Okay, so Seneti, you are not only a poet, but I've seen you in a number of events as a hostess. You know what I mean? Like what else do you do? Who else are you? Because you seem like you've just allowed yourself, or in my context, I call it being unleashed. And being unleashed is really just about allowing yourself to be whoever you want to be in that particular moment. You know what I mean? I'm in a space whereby I'm a recording and performing hip-hop artist. I'm a facilitator for a transformation curriculum. I'm a TV host. You know, I did radio a while ago, and now I'm here live streaming. I MC events as well. I just asked myself the question: what would happen if I didn't, or rather, if I just didn't put any limitations on myself, and I just allowed myself to be whatever and whoever, and look where I am right now. So I just want to find out from you, who else are you?
Who else am I?
Yeah.
Outside of poetry.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I think I would describe myself as a performer, creative, a content creator, you know. I am art, and, you know, art speaks through me.
Let's just double click on that.
I'm
I
art.
am art.
Yeah, they're done.
Enough said. Enough said. Yeah.
So I'm also discovering what voices I have. You know, I'm comfortable with my voice, so literally I can use my voice in the arts, but I can also use my body, and I can also use my, you know, my ears, and, you know, just I expect a lot of different forms of art from me. Do not box me into poetry, but I can also use poetry a lot within those different forms of art. So
I love that. Lunga Michael Shonga says fire. So he definitely loved that performance. Thank you very much for tuning in, sir, and welcome to First Friday. We're chilling out here at Ndibanweni, courtesy of the American Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and we're streaming to you live thanks to the homeboy Daniel Toro Photography. Seneti,
yes.
Ukatlo Kator Ambassador.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, I love Ukatlo Couture. They're a brand for accessories that I ambassador for, and that's what Ukatlo means. It's a Xhosa word that just means accessories.
Accessorize, you
yes.
know.
And I love my accessories, but I'm very not always, but I try to be particular with ones I wear. I support them so much because they recycle products. They make all their products handmade. Like he's just talented. So I get to wear their pieces and model them and look good in them, and I enjoy that so much. And just it's so easy, man, because I love their products and they're great quality.
All right. So you also like produce and direct your own videos.
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah. You just watched her performance from the MTN Bushfire 2020 live digital experience. That's where that performance was taken from. She's going to jump on the mic in a couple of minutes and give us a live performance, because we would definitely love to see that. But if people want to see more of your poetry, where do we go?
I have a lot of my performances and just poetry that I've posted on my YouTube channel, so they can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Senetisiwe Gininza.
All right.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Oh yes, I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the @ for those social platforms are @Senetisiwe.
All right. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the home of poetry in the Kingdom of Eswatini. All we are trying to do is make knowledge cool again, where we gather griots, wordsmiths, and smithesses, if there ever was a word like that, like Senetisiwe, who just come out here and just nourish our minds and our hearts with some beautiful poetry. Seneti, without any further ado, we already know, or we already seen what you're capable of doing. We just want to right now present to you the microphone and allow you to do what you do. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, coming at you live from Ndibanweni in Mbabane, the cap city of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Please welcome Senetisiwe.
Hi, everyone. So I will be performing my definition of beauty, which is the first poem I ever directed and posted on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you do also go check it out after, because I have a lovely team of people that I was working with on it. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. My definition of beauty. Shall I begin to explain to you that I mostly have no control over what this body turns out to be? Do I need to remind you that I did not choose these features that became the body that I call me? No, you know this. And deep down, you also have that insecurity, but why then do you have the liberty to drag everybody into these little pockets of this imaginary hierarchy of beauty? A subtle form of tyranny. Everyone has beauty. Doubting that is doubting God himself. If after every creation, God looked back and concluded that it was good, it was enough, who are you to say that it isn't? Yes, even when you're saying it to yourself, you shouldn't. But I understand that not everybody is religious, but just know that his grace is sufficient. Simply your existence was deliberate, but that's another story. Moving on swiftly, my definition of beauty is me. Yes, I choose to be deeply quenched by my own reflection. I may not fit your definition, but I do not need your interpretation or seek validation, because it truly begins with me, introspection. It's enough that every day I have to face my imperfections, and if I look hard enough, accept them as my perfections. Love, hate feelings on repeat, it's bittersweet, but I can deal with it because I know that my worth is beyond that of gold. My scars are just a library of stories untold, because my body is a canvas subject to my experiences living, of which some found a way to permanently embed on my skin. They still whisper beauty if you could just listen. Uneven distribution of melanin is not a fault. I was paid at a price, but I was not store-bought, meaning I'm not perfect. No expiry date. My lips are as big as they're meant to be. My face is the exact shape it's supposed to be. And the moment I started to love myself, I became unstoppable. The moment I realized I was enough, victory became palpable. My definition of beauty is you. Living every day you involuntarily had to succumb to. Throughout all our differences, color, shape, style, you're of great value too. Screw 100 likes, keep it 100 with yourself. Someone else's standards don't determine your worth. Honey, you're a 12th. Your personality shines through. And even the flaws in it do, but everybody's dealing with that too. Big, small, thick, tall. Heck, these are just words in English. So tell your haters to shh. We're not a language, but we give language meaning, and we are the definition of beauty. Thank you. That was actually dedicated to, the LGBTQ community. Be yourself because you are beautiful. I love you.
Oh man, yo. Where do we even begin? When we just sort of like dissect that piece and go into it? Like I said, so many quotables that just come out of there. Screw 100 likes, keep it 100 with yourself. Where did that come from? Because obviously, even just from like the first time, the first time we interacted, I already saw this woman who was just like so comfortable in her skin, so proud to be herself.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Because like once again, does it come from the city lights or from the Zandondo side of your life, or is it sort of just like a blend of the two places? Where does that come from?
That's an interesting question. I would naturally say maybe it came from my roots at the Zandondo side, because there we play in the grass, we play in the mud, and we pay no mind to what anyone thinks. We have fun, we enjoy ourselves and be ourselves, and wear your shirtless tabgile and go to the shop. It's okay. But I would say even the urban world has taught me that I could be that, okay, fine, but I could be clean, I could be while taking care of myself and be hygienic, and still know that in my most natural state, or with all of those maybe facets like maybe makeup or extra clothing, in all of that civilness, I could still be very proud of who I am to my core, love myself in the different ways I can express myself and how I look. And but I really gravitate to the most natural things in terms of what I eat and how I look like, because it's very, it's where life is, really.
Man, I just love that, and this is like, for me personally, I'm a strong believer and a strong advocate in identity, for one. You know what I mean? I've got that piece that says, you know, with regards to language, if I cannot speak myself, I cannot think myself. If I cannot think myself, I cannot be myself. If I cannot be myself, then who am I? And for the most part, I think a lot of the issues that we have stem from the fact that we have moved from who we are. We have lost track. Yes. We've lost sight of our identity. And when you don't have your identity, think about this. Just put it into context. When you go to a bank right now, the bank where you put your money, it's yours. But they will not give you access to your money without your identity. You know
Enlightening.
What I mean? Wow. They will not give you your money without your personal identity number or your identity.
That's
now
gold.
think about
That's
it.
gold.
This world that we live in has got an infinite supply of peace, of joy, of love, of happiness, of laughter, of happily ever after. But when you look at the way people are stressed out, they're anxious, they're angry, they're, you know what I mean? You can just like name all of the feelings that people are in. And for me, when I look at it from my perspective, from my vantage point, it has a lot to do with the fact that we've lost our identity.
100%. I would really agree with that. And I think it's very important to remind ourselves where we're from, like constantly bring it forth in, you know, in our lives, in our art, in everything that we do, because we subconsciously need to realize where we come from, so that it builds a really strong foundation in everything that you do.
Man, this beautiful conversation that I'm having with Senetisiwe, spoken word poet, events MC. She's a lover and liver of life. She's just out here being the best, her best self. Shout out once again to the Public Affairs Office of the United States Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Everybody that just like is behind us and making sure that we do this and we do it well. Stephanie, Nanette, Nondumiso, Madam Ambassador Peterson, thank you so much. Morrison and Vagele, these guys are just like so amazing in helping us, making sure that we do this and we do it well and we do it to the best of our ability. And of course, the master, Daniel Toro, making sure that we're streaming to you live and direct on this beautiful Friday evening, which is the first Friday of the month of June 2020. You got some more poetry for us?
Yes, I do. Always.
By all means. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senetisiwe with a little bit more poetry, because that's what we came here to do. We're making knowledge cool again, man. How cool is that?
So this is one of my most popular poems among my viewers, my audience, my clickers. And yeah, I really enjoy reciting this poem because it's also very personal to me, but it's a poem that I wrote sometime last year after Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Women's Month, which is around August. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is a titty appreciation poem.
I'm sorry, the what now?
The titty appreciation poem.
All right, let's get it.
Coming through with some body positivity. I hope you guys enjoy
All right.
it. Royalty, thy name is woman. For after all the things she already bears, the Creator blessed her with breasts. A plate of softness served in a world that wants you to be hard, to come to terms with the reality someone else created. Oh, lover, be emancipated, for my breasts are the answer to your woes. Do you need a shoulder to cry on? because I have the best pillows you can lie on while you lie. But please don't lie. You don't even have to try. Just lay your head on my chest and set your mind free. Be at ease in their company. It's just us three. I, woman, though one, we are plenty. Mothers of life. I am pregnant in so many ways, and I deliver out of sight. The bulge in my chest is not to make me pompous, but it serves as a compass to show you life is made here. But you won't always see. For my breasts can be as flat as my bully's favorite simile. When every cup bra isn't small enough, I might fill it up to boost my confidence for the day. Small titties deserve love too, especially if the heart remains empty. All boobs have a story. My stretch marks go from where you see them down to my areola. The scar you see is from an incision when I had to take something out. My world is always under attack, but I never tap out. If you catch them on a good week, they might plumb up and stand on their own. But most times gravity pulls them down, even when there's no child at home. Sometimes I think I'm the child, for they cradle me to sleep. And when the weather is cheap, I use my boobs as a pocket for my hands to creep. Imagine being cold and finding warmth in yourself. If you catch me on a good day, your hands may also be welcomed. You can handle them while you head south, but please don't deprive your mouth. No pair is truly identical. Maybe that's the secret that makes them so magical. Unevenly perfect, yet equally important. For a rack like mine, support can only be customized. Trying to push them up as if the world isn't already weighing me down. I don't ever mean to look provocative. Oh, the scars on my shoulders aren't worth it. But if I don't want to wear them on my waist, I will let them compete with my face. I get to choose because they also belong in this place. Through my existence alone, I have breastfed nations, so I will walk tall with whatever titties I was blessed with. Thank you.
Oh, man. Man, oh man, oh man. This is how we spend our every first Friday of the month right here at Ndibanweni, courtesy of the U.S. Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We're streaming to you live and direct. All thanks to Daniel Toro Photography. Madam, so that you just like stood in front of the mirror one day and you're like, listen, y'all don't move.
Just stand right there.
Stand right there. I'm about to write this. It's all for you. That's so beautifully done, and it's like so tastefully done. It's so gracefully done. You know what I mean? Like, just tell us about the process behind that piece.
So I happened to be anticipating a breast surgery at the time. Okay. But like it was during Breast Cancer Awareness Month and also Women's Month. So I just wanted to celebrate breasts. And we have different kinds of breasts, like in terms of shapes, sizes. Some people have had surgery because of breast cancer, so they have scars, and sometimes people are actually very self-conscious about that because you know you have scars, or maybe you've lost an entire single boob, and so I just wanted to be in a space where we appreciate breasts of all sizes, whether with scars and stretch marks and you know all of those, whether natural or because of whatever reasons. I just wanted to celebrate breasts. And one time I posted on Twitter and asked my followers, so I have this idea. If I get 50 retweets, I will write a poem about boobs. And by a few hours, I had like...
It went buck wild. I might have retweeted like 10 times just to make sure.
So it's people loved the poem, and they really gave me a great reception, and they are what fueled the writing of that poem.
Beautiful, beautiful, and thanks to everybody that supported that retweet campaign, because it definitely gave birth to this here beautiful poem. Let's take a couple of comments coming through from the social media streets. Martin MK, once again, thank you very much for always vibing with us right here on First Friday. He says, dope performances. Let's keep it going. Tandi Swakininza, you know,
My sister.
Namesake. Is it me or is it getting so hot in here? Big up, little sis. Is this like family?
No.
Or just family by last name?
You know.
Okay.
Still
okay.
family though.
So maybe let's sort of just like do a quick pit stop on that. How's the support from the family in as far as you wanting to do poetry professionally?
I think my family is still warming up to the idea that I am an artist, and that is very important to me. So they do support me in some ways, but they're very scared that it could, like COVID-19 hitting, they're scared that situations like these could leave me with nothing much left to be able to fend for myself, you know. So that's a very big concern of theirs. So they do try push the idea of, you know, me venturing into other more corporate kind of.
But you're actually bringing in something very interesting. The COVID-19 situation did actually rattle everybody and made some people realize that job security is actually not that secure after all.
Not even in art, actually.
Yeah.
So it definitely was a reality hit for the entire world.
For the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for that quick segue. Lindoguhle Mtupa, sister dearest, you know, I love and appreciate every time you have my back, especially when I do these great and amazing things. Thank you for tuning in. She says, yes, ma'am. The moment I began to love myself, I became unstoppable. And she's just like, I told you, she's just got like quotable for days. Screw 100 likes, keep it 100 with you. And Shafi Vinyo Mieni says, we're live. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Nomfundo Gianni says, beautiful tribute to our previous boobies. Really, Nomfundo? I mean, really? Nompumelelo Real Gunene says, real talk. And Lindo Gutle says, I've breastfed nations. Girl, you're talking to the sisters out there. Can you see that? Can you feel this energy in the room?
I really can. And I love my supporters so much. They really fuel my writing process and my inspiration.
Great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, time flies when you're having fun. I cannot believe it's almost been an hour already. We're about to sign out right here on First Friday. Remember, we're coming at you live and direct from Ndibanweni in Babane, the capital city of the Kingdom of Eswatini. And this has been made possible by the U.S. Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Thank you very much to Ambassador Peterson, Steph, Nanette, Nondumiso, Morrison, Vagele, the people that are just making sure that we're doing this. Ambassador Peterson once again has joined us. Wonderful stuff. Thank you for providing a positive boost at the end of a very difficult week. We love you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much for always just taking the time out to vibe with us right here on First Friday. So ladies and gentlemen, I am the courtesy of hip hop, and I've been chilling with Senetisiwe, poet extraordinaire. What are you besides the video capturing of your music, are you maybe planning at one point in time putting it into a book so that it becomes timeless?
That is something I am considering and you know, trying to see how possible it can be for me, but it's definitely something I'm interested in doing. I would love to have my written poetry out for actually myself, but also for everyone that has been supporting me and everyone who can relate to it and heal from it. I would definitely love to do that. So hopefully I will meet some people along the way that will kind of help and enable the, you know.
So the reason why I'm asking this is because late last year, I had the privilege, thanks once again to the U.S. Embassy and Furious Flower Poetry Society, I had the privilege of traveling to the United States of America, and I was within other poets, you know, from around the United States of America. The one thing that I noticed that they do, or they have that we don't, is that they put their poetry in writing. They put their poetry in books. Like everybody just like came through and, oh, this is my latest book. Oh, this is my first book. Wow. This is my, you know what I mean? And I realized that's how we can also create or build this poetry culture in the Kingdom of Eswatini, because sometimes you may not physically be able to reach somebody. Sometimes somebody might not be able to join you on a live stream, but when you have it in a book, you can put it in a library somewhere. And of course, with a network like the U.S. Embassy and their libraries or their library support around the Kingdom of Eswatini, it's just so much easier to reach people that you wouldn't ordinarily reach when you've put your poetry in a book.
I am excited to have that project released. I'm working on it actually actively, but I don't have plans around it. It's just, and I'm just, you know, putting in the work and creating. And I believe that when I'm done and ready, the opportunities will be available for.
I'm just planting the idea.
Thank you. Actually, that was such a plug. I'm being modest about it, but I'm like, hey, I definitely like. I put a pin on that.
Steph, thank you very much for joining us as well this evening. She's tuning in all the way from the United States of America. We've got the world right here. We've got the world right here in this room with us this evening, and that's exactly what First Friday has presented to us, especially when we went live stream. Sometimes we just had like maybe 50 people in this room, but right now we are reaching out all the way to the world. We had somebody tuning in from Taiwan, the United States of America. I see a couple of people, somebody from Mozambique as well, and even people from all over the Kingdom of Eswatini who might not have had the chance to join us here in Mbabane previously. We appreciate you. We understand you could have been anywhere in the World Wide Web, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that very much. Seneti, here's your moment. Talk to the people, talk to the viewers at home, talk to your followers. What do you want to say? What's in your head? What's in your heart? Talk to the people.
Create. That is all. And be yourself, please. It's Pride Month. It happens to be my birthday month. I'm always happy in June, basically. But please, we have a lot to learn with these awareness months. So pay attention to those two. And it's Pride Month, we're celebrating the LGBTQ community, sending love and light to all of the people of that community and the allies of it.
All right, and as you can see, we are in all black, and I think this is just something that happened subconsciously. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Let's just come together as the human race, as human beings, as as the society, and as inhabitants of the planet Earth, and just love one another, because that is the only thing we definitely can do, and we do it well whenever we decide to do it. And in the words of Martin Luther King, I definitely have a dream of a time where we will judge each other, not on the color of our skin, but on the content of our character. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tamsanga Sbanze, the courtesy of hip-hop. I've been chilling with Senetisiwe at Ndibanweni in Mbabane, the capital of the Kingdom of Eswatini. We have been coming to you live, courtesy of the American Embassy in the Kingdom of Eswatini, specifically the Public Affairs Office. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Nanette. Thank you, Nundumiso, Vagele, Morrison, and of course, Ambassador Peterson. Shout out once again to the homie Daniel Toro for making sure that we are streaming to you live and direct. But for now, it's peace, love, and happiness. Stay safe, stay strong. Black Lives Matter. And we'll see you on the very next First Friday. Peace.
Since the very beginning of time, we've been running. Now, even though some of us run to lose a couple of kilograms, Back in the day, it was a totally different story altogether. Let me give you two stories. Before we developed the skills to fashion our weapons to kill our dinner, we used to chase them. We used to outrun them, literally. We would actually chase them for miles to heat exhaustion, which is pretty cool, I think. And then a courier by the name of Philippides in Greece around 490 BC ran a distance of over 250 kilometers to announce the victory of his people. So apparently he ran the entire distance, burst into the assembly, and yelled out in excitement, "We won!" And then he collapsed and died. So it turns out running too hard for too long can literally cost you your life. Sometimes we run to things, but oftentimes we run away. Let me show you.